Ayo.
Yo.
Cheers, mates.
Cheers.
What's going on, y'all?
What to do, everybody? What to do, everybody?
Another beautiful night of Rialto, man.
What episode is this? Episode 9? Episode 9?
I think this is episode 9.
Fine like wine.
Episode noof.
Yeah.
We got Aaron here.
We got Rob.
Griff, man.
How you guys doing tonight? It's kind of hot out. We're in the middle of a heat wave still.
And that's what sucks.
Crazy.
It's kind of like you're in quarantine and you want to be out,
And
but then it's fucking hot.
Yeah, it's terrible.
I think we've been talking about how hot it's been for the past 3 episodes.
Yeah.
And then so hopefully it just becomes nice again. Man, so what's been going on lately? Just a lot of basketball.
That's pretty much because, it's playoffs. So I feel like that's what's dominating everything. Football's still pretty quiet because not a lot of moves being made, just a lot of the same old. But, training camps and stuff like that are starting.
They started Hard Knocks.
Started seeing fucking in-game scrimmages and what like that. Your boy Jared Stidham.
We do talk about it, though, yeah.
Jared Stidham.
So we'll be talking a little bit of NFL later, talking about the best defenses, as well as some players that could be added. You also have in baseball, we're going to have baseball trades before the deadline here, as well as a couple of teams that have been popping off in baseball, a couple of players too. Just want to throw a shout out for them.
Yep.
And then we also have some basketball. Just a lot of shit going on, a lot of surprises, and I think we're
Hella
2
surprises.
games. Hella surprises.
This is only game 2 of every series.
Yeah. Well, one of the ones that I just want to bring up is the Rockets and the Thunder. So
Go Rockets!
the Rockets. Who'd you have for the Thunder Rockets, Aaron?
I think I had the Thunder. No, I don't know.
I think you had the Thunder.
Maybe. I probably had the Thunder.
I had the Rockets.
You know who I had?
He had the Rockets
I
as
had
well.
the Thunder then, yeah, because I was against you guys.
I think right now they're 2-0.
I wanted them to win.
I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I've been on this Rockets thing for a while, where I feel like they upgraded. I feel like they have a better player in Russell Westbrook. Ironic how you were saying he's not playing right now.
No.
The other dude is playing, who they traded for. So definitely ironic. And then they're using their own weapons against him. But hey, to each their own.
No.
What I was saying was that was going to overcome all this, and they were just going to overwhelm the Thunder. I guess it's been working so far, but their bench is the thing that's super surprising.
Yeah, the bench has really stepped up.
And then the games, if you do the eye test, if you actually watch the games, they're a lot more closer and intense than the scores would lead on.
Yeah, no, I think they've definitely blown them out in the second part of this last game. The game before, they were just on all 4 cylinders.
Yeah.
They were actually hitting some threes early in the game, but this game the Thunder were able to just keep up the whole entire time.
That 5-man lineup when Schroeder plays with the starters is insane.
Yeah, I think the closing lineup of Paul Schroeder, Gilgeous-Alexander, Danilo Gallinari, and Steven Adams finished the regular season with a net rating of 29.9, which was first in the league. I think in the first game, this group brought them from a 21 deficit to an 11-point deficit in on a 2-minute span. Mm-hmm. So they were very quick with it. There's a lot of chemistry in that too. With what the Houston Rockets got, man, in the first game at least, James Harden had 37, Jeff Green had 22, Eric Gordon had 21. And again, too, Eric Gordon was putting out once again. Were you able to watch the game?
I only caught, I want to say, the first 8 minutes after halftime. So, it's always kind of same thing. I don't want to say same thing with the Rockets, but he's not always the X factor, but more often than not, he is an X factor just because he's a key part. If Eric Gordon is hitting shots, they're almost unbeatable because he's one of those guys. He's a flamethrower. If he gets hot, he gets hot. And sometimes there are those games where this dude looks like world class, no one can guard him. And that was kind of one of those games that he had. He was just hitting a lot of threes, a lot of deep threes. You know what I mean? He was providing perfect spacing. He was just taking everything the defense gave him. He was close, on the closeouts, he would attack. If someone was at the rim, he would penetrate, kick out. If not, he'd just get his own bucket at the rim.
I think that's what's cool about that. You guys always pointed out Austin Rivers to me, and him and Eric Bledsoe.
Today, though?
Exactly.
Ooh.
Him and Eric Bledsoe are both able to get off the dribble. They can get into the paint real easily.
Yeah.
And I think that go against all the grain as well. And once you go against the grain, it's kind of it's just super surprising to see the other team when you have somebody dribbling in when they're so focused on, having just a perimeter face offense.
Yeah, he provides another dynamic to their offense. But especially with, like, Austin Rivers and him, when they're both on their game, good backcourt, especially like when James Harden and or Russell Westbrook, when he's healthy, are not in the game, because Austin Rivers he's good with the handle, he can break the defense down, and Eric Gordon's just a bucket.
So Mike D'Antoni was even saying this. It was after game 1. He goes, "We are just a completely different team. It's the first time they've seen us, so they'll make their adjustments. I don't expect it to be easy by any means." And I mean, the Thunder showed that in the first half of the second game, but they kind of just extended themselves with the numbers game, right, Gifton?
Yeah, I've seen a little bit of they try to do a little 2-3 zone, and I believe they try to do a little bit of 3-2 as well. But I mean, Houston was still just overwhelming with making shots and being consistent. Houston was just being consistent, and they were just attacking everything. They're actually attacking the rim more, and what I mean by that is like they're starting to get more offensive rebounds. Like you see Rocco in there fighting, you see Eric Gordon, James Harden, PJ Tucker. Like everybody's just banging more. And I like to see that. So it's like they really weren't doing this. They weren't doing this at all last year.
Also, on another note, that switch everything defense is just crazy right now.
I definitely think that you have to make like certain type of changes when it comes to that. Like, how do you efficiently beat a switch everything defense?
Right.
Like, do your freelance offense, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then whoever has the best like mismatch, then you go after it.
Yeah.
That's a way. That's a tough way, especially if you want to like.
That's a tough question, not because
if
it was so easy.
I think it just takes a team.
Like when Steven Adams gets switched up on Eric Gordon. So, I mean, sometimes it works for him, but, I mean, they're still going to suffer everywhere else.
So do you think it's part of the plan from the Rockets where we'll always do this to you, but we'll not give up perimeter shots? We'd rather give up 2-point shots because we're going to beat you with our threes?
Yep. They'll take the math.
Yeah.
I'll take the math.
They'll take the math.
So I seen that there was a great start from the Rockets bench. I think that's like been key for them. People coming off the bench and performing.
I know you guys laugh, but Jeff Green is doing his shit.
Yeah, Jeff Green had
Uncle Jeff.
22 in game 1.
I said shout out Uncle Jeff last podcast,
first one.
or the one before.
Shout out Uncle Jeff
Green.
Man.
Like there will be legends told of Jeff Green.
Yeah.
All right, Gifton. Do you see the Rockets bench performing the same way throughout the series?
As a Rockets fan, and you guys know more than me.
Way to show your biasness.
We cannot ride high on these 2 games won. Because we've been real up and we've been real down.
And you know what waits for you in the next round. More than likely.
Yeah.
Ben McLemore's been a surprise.
I mean, like, he has said it, I can't remember which podcast, but Ben McLemore came back and, like, really revamped his career.
You still see the Thunder winning there, or?
I believe in, I'm going to stick to my pick. I believe in
Ride
Chris
and
Paul.
die.
Yeah, I believe in Chris Paul and the Ragtag Thunder, you know what I mean? But more likely, they'll probably get this next one, but more than likely it's probably be in 5, but.
I think I have him in 6 games.
Pretty crazy.
Robert Covington had a better game in the second half.
Yeah.
Hey, man. It's about to be Rockets Lakers next round, more than likely. Not counting out the Blazers, but more than likely, you know what I mean? And it's about to be some fireworks.
Yeah,
all right.
It's going to be interesting.
Talking about fireworks, let's talk about another exciting series here.
Who is that?
That's surprisingly 1-1. So the Bucks did win today in the fashion they're usually supposed to win in.
Right.
But one thing I just want to kind of bring up with the Bucks, it's kind of interesting. Since March 1st, now March 1st has been a long time ago, so I just want to remind everybody the type of run that these Bucks have been in. So starting with a 16-point loss since March 1st, they have gone 4-10. That includes a 3-5 mark in the bubble, seeding games plus a Magic's loss. I think that makes them still 4-10. So now they're 5-10 since March 1st. Milwaukee did not do so well in the first game. They definitely showed out in the second game, but I just didn't see. So I see like a formula basically going against the Bucks, and then you see this Vucevic that you guys threw down that wasn't top 5.
He's not.
Is he not?
No.
It's pretty nice. I think he's got an argument.
He's nice, not top 5.
An all-star. We'll see.
The East is weak, though, but okay.
They're pretty weak. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to say the Magic or anything. Even Budenholzer says, I don't think our group underestimated Orlando. They're a very good team. They're very well coached. They've got a lot of good players. They've got weapons.
And it wasn't even a fully healthy Orlando. That's the
Right.
crazy part.
Exactly. So I think they played without
Aaron
let's see here,
Gordon and Michael Carter-Williams
Jonathan Isaac as well.
and Jonathan Isaac.
He's
Yeah.
out, sadly.
So even with all that, if this team was that good enough, they would have at least took over the 7th seed over the Nets, who are undermanned, right?
Right.
What do you think that this says more about the Magic or more about the Bucks? Do the Bucks suck? Are they sucking?
No, because
Think about the last 15 games, Gifton 5 and 10
Yeah, Gifton.
when it really matters.
I mean, I don't want to say the Bucks suck, but they're not what we thought they were. They're not like what we thought the Lakers were, like the Clippers. You know what I'm saying? Like all the top tier teams don't seem undefeatable.
Well,
like nobody seems unbeatable.
So it's more of an even keeled thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was just basically saying like the Bucks are proven out to be just like the Lakers, Clippers, that they're not who we all thought they are, that they have chinks in their armor, and they're not these world beaters.
Do you think there's a point to saying that, like, right now Milwaukee can run up the record itself against people in December, January, February, but now it changes in the playoffs where people are locked in, coaches are locked in, they're able to, like, you know, form a good game plan and execute it over a 7-game series?
I mean, to a degree, like that happens regardless in the playoffs because it's the best defensive teams with the best coaches. You know what I mean? So that's gonna happen regardless. Playoff basketball is a lot more intense. But I just think, like, dude, before the Giannis injury, pre-COVID, like lockdown stuff, dude, don't forget how the fucking on a roll the Bucks were, man.
Oh, yeah.
These dudes were insane. They had a historic offense. Giannis got hurt. They slowed down a little bit, and then obviously the league came to a halt. And then since the startup, they haven't been their best. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So that's got to be a factor. Maybe it's just fitness or whatever, but it's crazy. It's crazy. But I pointed out a couple of pods ago a little bit about how their defense and whatnot and how people are guarding Giannis, especially with the defense giving up these mid-range, like forcing the mid-range twos, not giving up threes or shots in the rim, and giving everything between, and dropping on screens and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And, dude, out of all people, Terrence Ross, who's a good player, you know what I mean? Not a world beater or anything like that, but
Yeah.
he, especially in game one, he exposed a lot of their pick and roll covers because he would come off a screen, whoever the big was, whether it be one of the Lopez brothers, they would drop a little bit and they wouldn't stay up on him. They would just act like he's gonna keep going on the rim, and he would stop, pull up on a dime, and dude, he's not the best fucking mid-range shooter, but he was going off that game.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Just shows the chinks in their defense, and we just got to see until they face a tougher opponent. Jimmy Butler's a great mid-range shooter.
Jimmy B.
Jimmy G buckets.
That's where he gets his. Well, that's where he used to get his money.
He's been pulling up from 3 lately.
Jimmy G buckets.
To kind of end out that segment, we'll get into this new one called Damn. I said that? Damn.
Damn.
So, just to say that we all didn't expect the Magic to beat the Bucks, right? I think you had them 4-0.
I gave
you
him a
had
game.
them 4-0. We
I
had
gave
them
him a
4-0. You didn't give them a game.
I didn't?
I think we all said sweep.
We all said sweet.
Oh, damn. Damn.
So, I think it's like a combination of group effort here when we go, damn.
I said that?
I said that.
I was yawning.
Fuck.
Do you expect them to win another game? With the argument that it is over 7 games, or do you think the Bucks are just like, okay, we can't let that shit happen again. We gotta have that edge. Remember we were talking about the mental edge going into the playoffs?
Mm-hmm.
Dude, this Magic team got a game off the first seed Raptors last year. Anything's possible, but they lost the next 4 games, and I expect the same to happen.
One thing I want to point out is Markelle Fultz, in his 4th playoff game for his career, first start, keeps up with Bledsoe. Is that more of a story for Markelle Fultz, or is that a
That just shows where Eric Bledsoe's at.
That
hit of Eric Bledsoe, man?
For real. Like, Marco Fultz is cool, but dude is still young, and you know what I mean? After all the dilemmas in Philadelphia, dude doesn't really have a jump shot, and he's keeping up with Eric Bledsoe, who just got paid.
yeah.
Well, not just got paid, but you know what I mean?
They coughed up 25 points on their 16 turnovers, the Bucks did. So It's just a bad game overall.
That's not like them, and that's super frequent in the bubble. They've been having these bad games more often than having good games.
How about this, too? It's funny that it's after Antetokounmpo talking about how he's getting overlooked, him and his team, getting these weird times for the TV.
That's so crazy that you would literally overlook Giannis. That's crazy.
And then they lost.
And then they lost.
They
How
like
the
never.
fuck do
They
you
were like
overlook
never in
Giannis?
control of that game either.
No. I would second that.
Yeah.
Another series that I want to point out is the Heat Pacers series.
Ooh,
Just want to talk about Jimmy Butler.
Man,
Jimmy
that guy's having
Buckets.
fun.
A guy we've been talking about it, especially Aaron, talking about how he's not doing too well on the 3-point shooting area.
You mentioned that.
Aaron's mentioned that a couple of times, which was surprising because we expect him to be more. We know him to be more.
He has the reputation
Yeah.
of being a good 3-point shooter, but the numbers would say otherwise. This year's numbers would say otherwise.
Exactly. You're talking about regular season, and now
Yeah.
we're in the bubble. Now we're in playoffs. So on back-to-back possessions, he drained threes to provide a separation that the Heat needed. The game was about 113-101. It was a game 1 win. Today he provided the same type of thing on the stop on the dime type of in transition, excuse me. So Jimmy's been putting out, man. And what's cool about it is that Bam doesn't need to show up the way that he needs to, and everybody else has his back.
Yeah.
The biggest surprise for me, which I didn't expect, and I'm very happy to see it, is Goran Dragic. He's taking like the Kelly Olynyk type of juice because Kelly was putting out in the bubble.
Yeah.
Now that it's playoffs, Goran Dragic is taking that fucking juice,
Yeah.
man, because he's doing really well.
He is.
He's
The
doing really
Dragon.
well.
Didn't he had 24 points the other day, I believe.
Who?
Wasn't it? Goran Dragic?
Today, I think he had 22 or something.
Yeah.
I don't know what he had.
I think it was
yesterday.
I can't remember exactly, but I remember one game.
He had 24 points in the
Right.
first half. Oh no, he had 21 of his 24 in the second half,
Mhm.
and then he had 14 in the fourth quarter.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, no. So they came when you were really paying attention. You know what I mean? So that's why it looked like he even put out more.
Yeah.
It sucks that they're on the Bucks side of the bracket.
Yeah.
I think that's cool.
Really?
I think
The
it's
Heat-
good to catch him early.
I feel that.
If the Heat play the Bucks, the Heat's going to give the Bucks a month for their running.
Yeah, and you know what? To go to like add on to what you were talking about, Aaron, I think that they'll take the conference finals more seriously than the round before it.
Yeah.
So they can catch them, you know, on the prowl real easily, like on the
Mhm.
surprise. So as you can see from the records right now and how like games have already gone, anything can happen right now.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I would
Especially in
never
the
expected that the Trailblazers would score that low today.
Yeah, that was insane.
That empty gym. It's a crazy dynamic.
One thing I do want to point out is Butler said Bam is the heart and soul behind this team. When he's playing at a high level, it's going to be tough for anybody to beat us. I feel like both of them kind of co-pilot this team in leadership.
100%.
They feed off one another.
100%.
It's going well, man. I like
It
this
is.
marriage. My Heat are looking good. I just wanted to point it out, though, because Jimmy's looking really good right now, especially in the fourth.
Yeah, I mean, Jimmy Butler is just the real definition of grit and grind, bro. Like, just get in, do your job, and get out.
Aging like wine. Like fine wine.
How old is he right now?
I think
about
he just
30?
turned 30. Well,
Yeah.
not just turned. I
Let's
think he
see
turned
here.
30, maybe top of the year, maybe. I know he's 30.
Yeah.
He has 8 years of experience. He's 30 years old.
Yeah.
Damn.
Shout out Jimmy Buckets.
Me.
Jimmy B. Tyler Hero also popped off for 15 points, 4 assists in his postseason debut. They put him in crunch time, which I'm very excited about.
Yeah.
At first, I didn't think that he was going to be that guy, but
They trust
got
the
him
young
there.
man.
yeah. And you know what? I think it's more chemistry with the other dudes.
Yep.
You know what I mean? I don't think it's that he's a better player than
Yeah.
somebody else. I think that he has that kind of chemistry with them, and
Mm-hmm.
they give him confidence.
Mm-hmm.
So if it's Goran Dragic giving him an assist or a dime,
Yeah.
it's not like it's going in. Jimmy Butler, Bam Adebayo gives you that shit. It's
Mhm.
kind of like, I got some balls on me.
Yeah, no, Tyler here is a cold devil. Certified.
Good shit. It's a little bit of basketball. We'll probably get back to it. I think we got some other shit to mention about it, but
Yeah.
I do want to go into something that's really crazy.
What is that?
The Gerald McCoy being waived.
Yeah.
by the Cowboys.
That was a rough one.
So crazy because you think about Gerald McCoy, elite dude
Exactly.
being on the line, and that line already has a history of, or like even a potential of being good.
Mhm.
So adding this guy just makes everybody better. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
It's crazy on what happened here.
Da, 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 da.
So Dallas released McCoy via injury waiver Tuesday. And the reason why it happened is because, of course, Joe McCoy, I think he torn a ligament in his quadricep. He had right knee chronic quad tendonitis and other related structures in that part of his body that, like, what?
His face when you're reading the injury list.
It's hard to say those words.
That sounds nasty.
During the physical, they figured this part out.
Uh-huh.
They put it into his contract. Like, hey, like if something happens in this particular area, we have the right to void out your contract. And it sucks that before even a game happened, and it was a 3-year contract, 3 years,
Yeah.
and that was just is
done.
dead because of this specific fucking injury.
That is
Possibly
sad.
that he was getting himself ready for this like position.
Mhm.
So he's getting himself ready, and then he gets injured. Like, what type of fucking luck is that?
Yeah, that's terrible, man. Prayers to Gerald McCoy.
He had a productive season in Carolina right after Tampa Bay dumped him in 2019. I think this was his 11th season that he's going into. So on the older side, and I think even I seen something on Pro Football Focus or even Warren Sharp analytics. He's like, I think still like one of the top 4 type of defensive tackles right now.
They waived him.
Agree.
Well, I mean, I would have waived him too if I was able to do that, but it's just crazy. Like, how unlucky is that shit?
No. The Cowboys.
They got it like specific to paragraph 35 of McCoy's contract, detailed an injury waiver.
That
They also said that the Cowboys themselves, they already told them, like, if you do have something like this and he signed the contract saying it, that they can void out his contract.
right. Yeah,
So-
that sucks, man.
Positive energy going out to Joe McCoy.
Definitely.
Man, get healthy soon and get on the fucking field and be that dude again, man. I also want to get into the best defenses in the NFL. So I was reading this article. I don't know which one it was. He was mentioning the Chargers being the number 1 off defense, the Bills
Shout out
being the
Derwin
number 2
James.
defense. Say it again.
Shout out Derwin James.
I wanted everybody to hear that. And then they had the number 3 defense is the 49ers.
Mm.
I want to just bring these up because I feel like they're pretty cool to mention that the Chargers already have a good defense, right? According to this, and even according to their so-called roster here, they have, again, Derwin James, Casey Hayward, Desmond King.
The Bosa.
What's up?
The Bosa.
Yes, sir, Joey Bosa. Melvin Ingram off the edges. They also have Chris Harris Jr. joining them. So they have a lot of good names on that side of the ball. With having like even Derwin James hopefully being a defensive player. They have 2 potential defensive player of the years.
Yep.
Come on, man. Like one in the secondary, one on the line there. So
And Derwin James just being so versatile and as versatile as he is, man.
He's-
Dude, anywhere.
he's like I feel like he's just a better overall Jamal Adams.
Yeah.
Like if I had Jamal Adams and then there was like a next tier of everything that he can do, there you are.
Yep.
Jamal 2.0.
Because he's just so well rounded and he does everything at least like a B+ level.
Ooh, Jamal Adams?
Derwin James.
Derwin James probably A on everything. At least.
Damn,
Damn.
you love that guy.
He's nice.
He's nice. He's definitely the best safety in the league.
3.5 sacks, 3 picks, 13 passes defended. And that was in 2018, and then he had a
Wow.
surgery,
You know,
foot injury.
and then his lineups, I mean his numbers by position lined up in by snaps. It's crazy. He plays a lot of different positions over the backfield.
Yeah.
Not the backfield, over the defensive side of the ball.
The reason I want to compare him to Jamal Adams, not only was he traded, but we were talking about him beforehand,
Yeah.
about how he'd be like a Swiss Army knife.
Yep.
Mhm.
Same thing with Jadaveon Clowney, man.
Yep. Anywhere on that line.
All those dudes.
Outside linebacker.
So I guess Gus Bradley, I didn't even know this guy was a defensive coordinator. Don't judge me on the Chargers defensive coordinators. Why would I know his name?
It'd be
But-
like that.
Hopefully we could put that out there, raise some awareness for this dude and see, kind of track him. Why not? See if he actually is a good defensive coordinator. Maybe he could become a good head coach as well. So he has all this talent on that side. Apparently, is a really good defensive coordinator. We'll see what he can do. Derwin James, is he an early 2020 Defensive Player of the Year?
Definitely.
We'll see. So then you have the Bills as well. They came in at number 2. They have Jadaveon White, 25 years old, 22-year-old Tremaine Edmonds. And I think it was, let's see here. So Edmonds made his first Pro Bowl, and then White earned his first pro team All-Pro. And then he also had an NFL high 6 picks. So they definitely have the secondary at least. And then this is the thing that I was trying to mention before I got into a deep analysis about the Chargers. My bad.
What is that?
They have who they draft again? What's his name? The guy out of the green team.
Justin Herbert.
Justin Herbert. Thank you.
Oh, sorry.
Okay, so they have Justin Herbert.
The green team made me laugh. So I got There's
a lot of green.
I got distracted in my head, and I was like, the green team.
The green team.
And I was like, wait,
they're all these different colors.
The green team. That's good, right?
Referring to their
Justin Herbert.
To the uniforms. So anyway, they have Justin Herbert at QB, but I think they have Tyrod Taylor right now. But the Bills also have, I guess, like the second best defense, let's say.
Right.
And then they have Josh Allen at their quarterback, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the third team is the 49ers, and they have Jimmy Garoppolo as their quarterback, right?
Yep. Jimmy G.
So all these teams have these quarterbacks where like it's kind of like my defense is first, and then we'll see where my offense gets me. Yeah, but the defense is the main part of that team.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of crazy to. Well, first of all, I was saying that Josh Allen is going to be better than Cam Newton, right? I think definitely that the defense will contribute to that. And part of that is takeaways, also running up the scores and scoring on their defensive side.
Right.
And the Bills ranked second in scoring defense and third in total D last year. So what I'm trying to say is that if you see Justin Herbert come out in maybe Game 6, I would say Game 6, and they have like 3-3 at least. If they're 3-3, I see Justin Herbert coming in and trying to make a difference and not doing so well, but the defense is going to make him look better than he actually is.
Yeah, I get you.
That's how I feel. Because if you have a good defense, you see that as long as you have just a little bit of just positive production, at least like netting over 1 or something in like points, you can have a good season with this quarterback, and you could be like, oh, this guy's the fucking future. You know what I mean? So what I'm thinking is Justin Herbert's going to come in like Game 6 and be like, I'm the dude.
People sleep on Tyrod Taylor.
Tyrod Taylor always gets a lot of praise right before he starts a new campaign, and then he fucks it up.
Yeah.
He fumbles the bag each time. And you know what? He doesn't fumble the bag because he actually gets paid.
And then he got, what did he broke his wrist last year in like, what game? Game 3 or something. Well, not last year.
I don't know.
The 2 years ago. When before Baker took over.
Let's see. I'm going to look it up. I think he just got benched, but there was an injury that like helped into that change there.
Yeah, I know he broke his wrist. But yeah, man. I wonder what Justin Herbert's really going to do. We'll see.
Can you see it? Like, if they had to put him in next game, like next year, what do you think they're going to put him in? There's a history of those first rounders being put in pretty early.
Yeah, he would probably have the Baker approach, probably coming in the like 5th to 8th game, maybe around that range.
Let's see here. Yeah, it looks like it was a hand injury.
Yeah.
It's tough.
And then he also had like a concussion. I think he had a hand injury and he wore like a glove and he had it wrapped in shit. And then he had a concussion, and then that's what put him out.
That sucks,
dude. That's crazy. That's a lot of hurt.
It is. It's a lot of hurt.
That's a lot of hurt. Let's just talk about the Bills real quick. So you had those two secondary players there, really, really good. Apparently the combo of Jordan. So I like Jordan Poyer. Micah Hyde went from a couple of different teams, so You don't really know what he can do, but maybe this is a good system for him. So
Right.
they're underrated. And then they also made a lot of signings over the offseason. Mario Addison, Vernon Butler, Josh Norman's on that team, Quentin Jefferson, and AJ Klein.
Quentin.
So they're in McDermott's system. Let's see what they can do.
Yeah.
They already had a really good one, defense on last year, so they're just adding on to it. What's a cool part about them is I feel like they all believe in each other.
Yeah.
And when you can play as a unit in
The sky's
football,
the limit.
I'm excited about the Bills because, again, I picked Josh Allen to outdo them. So we'll see what happens. And then you have 49ers being the third team. Let's talk about them just for a second.
49ers.
Nick Bosa,
Of course.
crazy freak.
Just freaking nature.
Another defensive player of the year candidate.
Yep.
Just want to point out something. He broke Pro Football Focus record for total pressures from a rookie. So that's something to really think about as a rookie.
Damn.
And I don't know. I wonder how long Pro Football Focus has been here.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm sure they have older fucking records on that shit. So
yeah, of course.
The athletes just get better and stronger. He also had 4 sacks in 3 playoff games last year. Richard Sherman hopes to play at the Hall of Fame level last year as well. Thing is that he turns 32.
Yeah, if you stop getting burned.
Do you think that their secondary is not going to be too good, or do you think that their defensive line is going to contribute to that secondary being better?
That line, man, when you have those fuckers coming at you on a rush, they can make any secondary look decent.
Yeah.
When the quarterback's under pressure, you know what I mean? They won't be able to throw the ball as efficiently as well as they can, and you just need some dudes that can stay with their marker and have at least some decent hands.
Decent hands.
Yep.
You know who I really like though is their defensive coordinator, Robert Saleh. The way he celebrates with them, even, man, they're super fucking cool.
Dude,
he gets some hype.
He's one of them, yeah. He's hyped, and he's taking them to glory. Obviously they didn't win the chip, but dude, that defense that last year was incredible. Look what they did to Green Bay.
Mm-hmm. Can you believe though? Have you ever seen that dude in college? And he's really fucking big.
His head against their helmets and shit.
He goes pretty crazy with them, but he does push-ups with them. He does workouts, and he's just
doing pull-ups and shit.
Yeah, all that shit. Yeah.
And it was a cold game, and he only had a beanie on and his polo, and he's just screaming.
Nah, he had I think he had his sleeves pulled.
Yeah, sleeves.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's something when you can have that type of rally man right there.
Yeah.
A more personal mascot. You get out there. So I guess that's it for those defenses. Keep an eye on those ones, man. Fantasy. If you have people that are gonna go against those types of defenses, sit them down.
Yep.
Yeah.
So you gotta watch out for that shit. We'll help you with that, especially when fantasy comes around.
Oh man, that's gonna be interesting this year.
So another thing I want to point out, kind of like a quick hit, Des Bryant.
Someone will pick him up.
Des.
Not immediately, but as it gets towards playoffs and stuff like that, I think someone will pick him up towards the middle half of the season.
Do you think it's gonna be based off of talent, or do you think it's gonna be based off of, man, this guy can't go because he got COVID or some shit like
Somebody's
that?
gonna need
It's gonna be fuck.
Somebody got injured.
Player X.
Yeah.
Towards Keeley's, man.
Yeah, somebody's gonna
Go
need
get Des Bryant.
We need a wide receiver that can catch.
So go get Des Bryant.
Because don't the Ravens actually need another receiver?
Well, that's the thing. They will actually have a workout with the Ravens, Des Bryant and his team and the Ravens. So that's pretty cool. So he's looking to resuscitate his career with them, which is nice. He hasn't played in 2.5 years.
Yeah.
If you think about it, what better place to
do
do
it? The
it?
Saints towards Achilles in practice.
They don't need him.
That sucked too.
Yeah.
So if he's just trying to show out, man, at this point,
Low risk,
I think
high
he's just doing
reward.
it for the love of the game.
Oh,
Yeah.
definitely.
He got paid.
No, exactly what he said.
He probably has a big chip on his shoulder at this point now, basically, because Dallas cut him. Basically, said he weren't good enough, and then that was kind of it for a while.
Yeah, bro. You know it sucks. They gave his jersey to CD Lamb to make it even sting more.
Crazy.
Yeah.
So sad.
That's
CD Lamb.
There's a couple of those wide receivers out there that I feel like are an injury away from getting back in the league.
Des.
The Alien, Dez, Josh Gordon.
Yeah.
I wonder if he's actually looking for a job right now or if he's still.
How many games
healing,
AB gets suspended? 8?
quote unquote.
8. Yeah, that's what sucks too.
Think
Because
so.
it's like, but AB knew AB.
Yeah, he don't care.
Yeah, he don't care.
Bro, Timothy will play if he wants to play.
Timothy. So another one that we want to bring up is we've been talking about this guy for a while. We actually did a little bit of a film session on it. Haven't got to it, but I'll probably post it after this. Why not? So we're gonna be talking about a little bit about Jadaveon Clowney. I'll let Aaron take it on this one because he's been talking about this guy for a cool minute and his potential.
Man, dude, it's crazy. This dude's still a free agent. I understand why. You know, he's holding out. He wants guaranteed money. And he wants security. He took to basically the prove it year last year in Seattle. He didn't have the best statistic year, but dude, if you watch, you can tell what he brings. You can see what he delivers, and you can see what he's all about. You know what I mean?
It's kind of like what we were saying with Lonzo.
Everything
doesn't show up on a stat sheet.
Exactly.
Maybe QB Hurries does, but
exactly.
if you pay attention to those, he's a top guy.
And like I've been saying, I said it on a couple pods, especially off air. If he goes to a team like, especially with COVID, dude, you're more than likely not gonna get the deal you want at the years you want with the money you want. You might have to take another prove it year. It was reported the Seahawks were offering him, I think, like a year for 16, 17 mil. The Browns offered like 18 to maybe
It's
20
the
mil.
Browns.
And
I would take him if I was on the Browns.
Dude.
I think you mentioned that being happen, or you want that to happen.
Yeah, could you? Like I was just about to say, if he's gonna take that prove it year, the 1 year deal, go to a team that also has another very, very good or elite edge rusher on the opposite side as you, just to inflate your numbers, man. Because, like, especially in the Browns case, if Myles Garrett's getting double teamed, that means that Jadaveon Clowney's open.
Or
And
Olivier Vernon.
Exactly. And if he's in a one-on-one, probably, 8.5 times out of 10, he's taking that dude and getting to the quarterback.
I can't even imagine that.
And
that sounds insane.
Exactly, and they have the money to do it. They have the money to do it for a year. It's all up to him. And he's just, he's one good statistical year away from just locking up the bag.
Can I just say something real quick about the Browns, though? Because I already know they're going to fucking fumble the fucking bag with those 3 dudes on the line.
Yep.
And they're going to end up 8-8.
Everyone, they're going to be 8-8, and everyone's just going to be yelling at each other, telling other teams after the game, come get me.
It made me so mad, too, because they have so much potential in it, and they're just not cashing in, and I just don't understand it. So it's like a make or break year for my fandom when it comes to, like, the actual fandom. Like, I'm going to come behind you and actually back you up. Like, you guys are going to do something this year, so on and so
Your
forth.
boy Baker, too.
If they don't do something this year, I'm just going to be like, I'm off the bandwagon, man.
Yeah, you know what they say, man. When you're about to take a dump, what do? You take the Browns to the Super Bowl.
Goodness.
That-
He said that shit, bro.
That'd be some shit. That would
Literally.
be some shit.
So I actually read an article. What I liked about this one was they mentioned the Patriots picking up Jadaveon Clowney. When you think about what they've already had, I think it was Jamie Collins and Kyle Van Noy. They had 22 and 21 hurries. They ranked first and second last year for the Patriots. Clowney had 23, so he had more than both of them. Hopefully they can match their production or even put more in with the brilliant mind of Bill Belichick. Could you imagine Jadaveon Clowney and with Bill Belichick and what they can do?
That would just be devastating for everybody else.
Yeah, so I mean, if he could
Belichick
take a team-friendly deal, taking a little bit less money, probably around what Aaron was saying, which is 13 or 16 mil, maybe for that team, maybe like 10 mil. I don't know. I feel like 10 mil is a good amount of money. But
yeah, I'd play for 10.
When will it be fair for Jadaveon to get his money? I don't really know. Honestly, it all depends on where his priorities are at. For my sake, I feel like he's more in the money priority. Why wouldn't you be?
Right.
It's all a business in the end. Mm-hmm. If he wants to make it into a Hall of Fame type shit, I feel like he has to win at least a Super Bowl because again, his numbers don't really show his numbers don't show on the board, so he would have to make his presence known in a Super Bowl or playoffs, and he's done that beforehand. He's just not on the winning side half the time, which is unfortunate. There's people that left him in free agency. I'm talking about the Patriots: Jamie Collins, Kyle Van Noy, Danny Shelton, and then you also have Dante Hightower, who opted out due due to coronavirus. So Clowney, a 3-time Pro Bowler with Bill Belichick, dominant defensive mind. Hopefully he can pick him up and get onto those Patriots and make a big type of contribution, because I see that pair doing a lot. But other than that, I still don't really see them making it to the playoffs. With Jadaveon, it'd help out, but we'll see.
Yeah, exactly. We'll see.
Practically a brand new team if that happens. So another thing I wanted to talk about was Mitchell Trubisky. Mitch, why are you sighing, Gifton? You're not a Bears fan. Aaron's a Bears fan.
Fuck the Bears.
Why are you sighing?
Because fuck the Bears.
Just fuck the Bears?
I mean, I was never really a big Mitchell Trubisky fan anyway, so.
I thought he was going to do something in his second year when he was
thought
putting out
wrong.
like 4 touchdowns and no picks.
You thought wrong.
And then the next year the next game he would have nothing and 2 picks. And I was like, damn. Who is this guy?
Like that you did the face. This is psych.
So I want Aaron to kind of talk a lot about this, because he knows a lot more about the Bears than I would guess we do. But let me just give a little bit of informational monologue real quick. So they imported Nick Foles. Apparently is to help out Mitchell Trubisky in his job. Cordell Patterson says that he's been doing well, or he looks like he has a fire under his ass. You have Trubisky. He said that he worked on his footwork, hopefully to improve his anticipation and accuracy. Was shitty last year, which is everything for a quarterback, right? You know, anticipation and accuracy.
Yeah, accuracy.
You want to be able to throw a ball very well, and hopefully he can throw it where the receiver is going to be and not where he is. Stupid ass. All right, let's see here. Okay, so he had a terrible season. The Bears declined Trubisky's 5th-year option, imported a potential replacement. Excuse me.
Good.
How you feeling about this, man? Do you want Nick Foles at the helm? Do you want Mitchell Trubisky at the helm? Do you see somebody else doing it?
So, man, the day 2 years ago in the playoffs when Robbie Gould missed the kick on I think it was the left upright against the Packers in the first round, that was the day my fandom for the Bears died. But I still keep up with it.
Did he hit the pole? Or did he just miss?
I don't know.
I forgot, man.
I think he might have been just wide left, but I feel like I know it was to the left. But yeah, that day, that was it. Because I think we had a solid chance at it, but that was it. But dude, Mitchell Trubisky, man, he shows flashes. But honestly, man, they just need to move on with that guy. I feel like they're gonna struggle for a couple games. The defense is gonna carry them to either an average or above average record. And Matt Nagy is just going to be like, you know what? Nick Foles, just do the best you can. Because Mr. Trubisky, I don't know what happened with him, man. Because 2 years ago on our playoff run, he had a couple good games, man. He would run for a touchdown or two. He would scramble. He's not a runner, but you know what I mean. But he would be able to scramble out the pocket and extend plays when he needed to. And he wasn't throwing that much, but his decision making was all right. And everything since then has just gone down the drain. I'm happy Nick Foles is in there because he'll just be a stopgap little one-year dude. Just come in, try and get us to the playoffs. Hopefully we can get a different quarterback soon because we don't want to waste this defense.
He's Jay Cutler 2.0.
Hey, don't disrespect Jay Cutler. Jay Cutler was a dog.
Fuck Jay Cutler. This is disrespecting Nick Foles.
Jay Cutler was a dog, man.
Real quick, this is what I want to talk about.
What is that, man?
I feel like if the Bears are smart, this is how they play. They let Mitchell Trubisky go at first. Now they have nobody getting on them when he shits the bed. Starts the season 0-2, possibly. I gotta see the schedule. I'll look that up. Aaron, can you look that up while I do this? They're gonna probably start off 0-2 with Mitchell Trubisky. He's gonna play like shit. Possibly, I'm just gonna say at least 2 games. Let's just say at least 2 games.
Okay.
Then you will have Nick Foles, who doesn't get injured for those first 2 games because this guy's going to get fucking injured.
That was another thing I wanted to bring up. If Nick Foles can just stay healthy.
The Bears should be good, honestly. So, opening day, it's the Bears versus the Lions. Second week, Bears versus the Giants.
So Lions and Giants
Lions and
for the
Giants.
first two.
Third week is the Falcons. Yeah, they don't face the Falcons are a challenge, but the
Those are two really bad teams.
exactly they don't face a real
Except for the
challenge until the
Lions.
Colts.
Lions will surprise
The
you
Lions, I was
sometimes.
gonna say the Lions are sneakily good because like they're a good team. They're just trash organization.
So let's just say they go. Damn.
1 and
Okay,
2.
so let's say they start losing to the Giants, but then they win in the end because they put Nick Foles halfway in.
Right.
But basically, what I'm trying to say is, start Mitchell Trubisky, give this guy fucking Nick Foles 2 games to not get hurt,
Right.
and then start Nick Foles. Hopefully, he stays healthy. If he stays healthy, they're going to the playoffs. If he doesn't stay healthy, Bears just got another shitty year.
Yeah, he's got to ride it out.
Ride it. All right, so let's get into a couple other things here. NBA like headlines or just quick hits here.
All right.
So for the NBA, 0 positive tests once again. Very
Yeah.
impressive, right?
Damn.
Lou Pepper Will. Wait, did I say that right?
Lou Pepper will.
Lou-
Lemon pepper Lou.
Lemon Pepper Lou.
Dumbass.
He said, what did he say? Lou
Lemon Pepper
Will?
Lou. No, what'd I say?
You said Lou Pepper
Lou
Will.
Pepper Will, yeah.
I was like, what?
Lemon pepper Lou.
Lemon Pepper Lou.
idiot.
Lemon Pepper Lou.
Lemon pepper
Didn't do
Lou.
nothing wrong. So of 341 players who tested for the COVID on in the NBA campus on August 12th, 0 have returned confirmed for positive tests. So pretty cool. You see what a bubble can do. Hopefully other in my opinion other sports should just do it in at least a bubble for the playoffs.
Dude, look at baseball, man.
They're still getting it done.
Bro, they're
But
rolling
it's
it.
pretty shit. It's really sloppy.
Bro,
They rolling
it's
the
crazy.
dice
It's sloppy. Yeah,
every
bro.
night.
Really sloppy.
It was like, fuck it. Really quickly, before we go to the next topic, man, how do you feel about Manfred?
Who?
Manfred.
So we threw away a topic the other day where I mentioned about like how the MLB is in good hands, but player wise and not like commissioner wise.
Exactly.
Mhm.
So fuck Manfred.
Fuck Manfred.
I think it was like 6 years ago or 7 where he was unanimously voted into his position. So I'm sure that would have changed.
I'm sure changes are coming.
One of my things was that he has a hunk of metal for a brain
Wow.
because he called the
Just a-
World Series champion trophy a hunk of metal.
Yeah, dude,
that
that
guy's
guy.
disrespectful.
Fuck that guy.
Fuck that guy.
Fuck Manfred.
Fuck him.
And he did
I
the
hate
same thing
Manfred.
to
Homie
Trevor
hate
Bauer.
Manfred.
Well, we'll talk about Trevor Bauer eventually, but not at the moment. Masai Ujiri, the altercation.
Man.
Now, the reason I want to bring this shit up is because I want to just imagine ourselves in his position for a little bit. Like, could you imagine being in that realm where you just won a championship, you're trying to get onto the court, and you're basically being assaulted by a security guard, even though you have every
Right to be there.
right to be there, and like every point, like if you just look at him, like everything about him just showed that he was there under the right premise.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? He already had
Exactly.
his credentials out. He was in a nice suit. He
had
was
his
confident
ID tag.
going into the right place. He was already at this type of stage inside of the Warriors.
He was already that
arena.
close to the floor. So it's like, come on, man.
How do you feel about it? That was fucked up, right?
I mean, it just goes to show you, man, with everything going on, like, they don't care. They don't care.
The Masai Ujiri's team said, "We believe this video evidence shows exactly that Masai was not an aggressor, but instead was a recipient of 2 very violent, unwarranted actions." But yeah, pretty shitty. Let's talk the Lakers real quick, just about the first 2 games that went on. They're now 1-1.
Yep.
In that first game, Gifton, what'd you see in the first game and the second game? Was there any difference?
Taylor 2 games.
What'd you
honestly.
see? That was different.
Portland was just too much as usual. Dame just being Dame, CJ being CJ, Melo being Melo, hitting them quarter threes, them important threes when it matters. And then in game 2, it would have been more competitive, but Dame had dislocated his finger. So I mean, that was really the major difference that I seen from 1 to 2. It's just that Dame wasn't there.
So it was just Dame wasn't there?
It was just
Man,
Dame.
I don't know about that one.
It
I
was
seen
just Dame.
an interior presence from the Lakers that was overwhelming for Hassan Whiteside and Nurkic. I don't know why for both teams that those like I understand for the Trailblazers, but it's kind of crazy when you have those two people out for the Lakers as well, where they had like at least two bigs out all the time.
Well, that and they're still missing Zach Collins, so Zach Collins kind of stretched the floor on that, so he would be in those key situations. But
he's not there no more.
Yeah, I know.
Crazy.
So that's what sucks.
So, and then I seen the Portland Trailblazers also just they weren't energetic. Halfway through the first game, I remember Chris Webber was like, "Man, they look like they've been on like the playoff grind. Like they're getting tired." This game, it really affected them in that type of way because they popped off in the second half. This one, they were always down by 10 the entire time.
Yeah,
and I think the main difference was, of course, like not only did the Lakers hit shots, or at least one person was hitting shots, but also their defensive presence was shown throughout the entire season. With them, think about it this way: they were 9 for 54 in the first game, shooting from outside the restricted area. Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, Danny Green, and Alex Caruso combined for 2 of 16 from 3-point range. So hopefully you don't expect that to happen every game. Even if they're shooting 30%, they're pretty close in that game. So I think the Lakers need to focus on their defense, and in what they did today, they need to bring that to the next day and the next day after that, because it was really good. They were out hustling them, getting tons of just rebounds in itself. Hassan Whiteside had a good defensive presence in the first game. The second game, he was getting outplayed. Yeah. So focus on that. But
one thing I did see, not to interrupt you,
no, you're fine.
One thing I did see from the Lakers today that I don't know why they didn't do the first game, but they had KCP pick up Dame full court. I don't know why they didn't do that game one.
Because KCP gonna get torched. You know exactly. He gonna get torched from the backcourt, and then you're a man short, and then you have Dame coming downhill full speed.
That's what you were saying. So, excuse me, a player short, right? Yeah. So that means that J.R. Smith and Dion Waiters, they had some minutes today, and they were able to take that, like, his position. They weren't doing the same fucking thing as KCP was doing, but I'm saying, like, they got those minutes possibly because KCP was guarding full court press and type shit.
Right.
And another thing that was huge for the Lakers, that it's insane that it took them to the first round of the playoffs and the pandemic for them to finally do this. But AD at center and LeBron doing his post up on the right block, the right low block, and then working out the post. Mm-hmm. Dude, LeBron is top. I don't even want to put a number on it. LeBron is great at working outside the post when he can look over his shoulder over the defender and he has time. He can find cutters or open shooters.
Especially when he has Gary Trent Jr. on him.
Exactly, man. Like, Gary Trent Jr. is a great defender, but he's not big enough for LeBron. So it's wild that it took them to finally go to this, and AD finally wanted to play center and blah, blah, blah. And
yeah.
I don't know, man. That's tough to beat when they do that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think the big part is they hit their shots today.
Definitely.
Mm-hmm. I give them that.
Big thing. And then I think the Blazers, they kept the paint grounded in the first game, so that, it was really hard. And they were putting up that wall I was mentioning to you pre-podcast.
Yep.
That they would do that thing for, how Giannis coming down in transition, or he's just coming in to bulldoze. LeBron definitely has a history of doing that.
Of course.
They block him out instead. So they're using similar types of strategies for him. So he needs to. Hopefully he can shoot. He needs to be a shooter to really win a championship, in my opinion. He's got to shoot, and then Anthony Davis just has to be aggressive throughout the entire time.
Yeah.
So we'll see. So that's for that one. So they're 1-1, good series. I think I had them going 6.
I think I had 6.
6-2. 6. I think you had 6. I think you had 7.
Yeah, I might have had.
But no, it's going to be a long series.
I said Dame will get it. So I think Portland is good enough to get a game, and I think Dame is good enough to get a game on himself. And we kind of seen that in game 1, where that dude, like, he didn't have like the craziest numbers, but what do you have, 34, 9, and 11 or something like that?
Mm-hmm.
Something crazy. I'm probably off, but he won that game. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
So I feel like the Blazers can get one more out of him.
Yeah. He's gonna get more than one game, of course. That's where the 6 games come from, but. They showed a lot of dominance today. They went back to being what the Lakers were.
Mm.
They're playing good enough defense and hitting just the right amount of threes, but they have two great players. Get them over the edge.
Right.
Okay, so let's go back into football for a little bit. There's been contract talks between the Vikings and Dalvin Cook. They've been broken off today, as of Tuesday. So today is Thursday. So Cook says that he's focused on week 1. He really isn't worried about the contract situation. He stated just letting those guys take as much time as they can and get this thing worked out and get a reasonable thing done for me that I'm worth on and off the field. That's true. Dalvin Cook never really gives you off-field issues as well.
Yeah.
Worked through a couple injuries already, so he is injury prone. He's never played a full 16-game slate, missed 16 regular season games over the past 3 seasons. So there's history of people getting large deals such as David Johnson in Arizona, Todd Gurley in Los Angeles, blown up in their team faces. How do you guys feeling, man? You giving Dalvin Cook this? I think that, in this type of day and age when it comes to getting big contracts for wide receivers, you would have to become at least a dual threat.
Yeah.
Where you're receiving and you're an actual receiver, one that can run routes. Dalvin Cook's more of kind of like a screening out type of guy. But he does catch passes
Out of the backfield.
but they're running him. You know what I mean? He's a workhorse. If you're the Vikings, he's a focal point. He brings out the best in Kirk Cousins. Would you sign him? Or
I mean,
because you can franchise him next year.
I would franchise him probably. Just because, I think it was 2 years ago, and that dude was going off. He was going nuts. And then what did he do? He tore his ACL, I believe?
I think so. Something with his knee or his Achilles. I think it was his knee.
And, I know that I've always, I be telling you guys that that's looked at like a flat tire in modern sports science, but...
Yeah.
To be the same caliber, that's a lot to ask, I feel
dude.
like.
Locking up money. Tying up money in a running back that's a depreciating asset just because they're going to get banged up literally before they're even 28. With already a pre-existing knee injury, it's kind of too many red flags for me personally. He's a workhorse, though. I would just franchise him. He'll probably end up making somewhere upwards of 15 to 20 mil maybe off the franchise. It's good money. You get another year out of him. Hopefully in that time you'll have a replacement lined up or something.
No, exactly. And they're not too far from getting another running back to replace him. It's seen it day in and day out where it's kind of next man up again. So I guess that's just awareness to kids who are wanting to pursue a football career. Be a wide receiver.
Yeah, definitely.
Be a quarterback.
Dude, quarterback's where the money's at.
If you
linemen, I hear they get pretty fucked
if you
up.
can be a quarterback, though.
Be a quarterback, of course.
I feel like a lot of people can be a quarterback. If you're an athlete,
Not a
you
lot
can
of
be a
people.
quarterback.
That's what I'm saying. Not a lot of people get to a football.
I mean, if they train, if you just continually train.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
Work at.
Hey man, you can get wherever you want to get. There's a lot that comes into it. But if you're already athletic, that gives you a whole different factor when it comes to being a quarterback. And you see that with all these new players that are coming in.
Exactly.
So
it's crazy the way the running back position is going, man.
Speaking of quarterbacks with athleticism or just the ability to scramble, hurry out of the pocket, we got Alex Smith, who was cleared to practice or to do football activities in practice.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Congratulations to the man.
Yeah,
we were talking
definitely.
about him, man, maybe 4 episodes ago, and how
gruesome that injury, that picture.
That is a long road to come back from.
I think it was when it was he was posting those videos where he was exercising, doing some football activities already.
Mm-hmm.
So with all that, man, this guy's a crazy story. But have you seen the new video of him when he's getting celebrated with his family?
Yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah.
You see the way his leg's going?
Yeah.
He was speaking upon the different possibilities of getting hit. He goes, when those things happen, it does when it breaks down. Really, do you have what it takes there to save the play? Find success, whatever that outcome is, escape the pocket, things like that. He was just talking about the different breakdowns you have to do when let's say the pocket breaks down on you.
Right.
What's the next step, or what do you have to do? What can your body let you do?
Right.
So He has to do it in the practice setting, and then after that in an actual game. So in the game, no one's gonna pull up to avoid hitting him that hard. So maybe there's like a inside, unwritten rule type of thing on Alex Smith, but nah, you're gonna get hit.
Yeah.
And it wasn't reliable to me what I seen, because I wouldn't feel comfortable doing it, and that's why I gave him that much more kudos, because he's saying that like he won't let the fear overtake him. So I guess he's just kind of gonna do him and make sure that he just continues his story and overcoming situations, man. So kudos to him.
Man, nothing but the best for Alex Smith, bro. The pictures. Insane.
Yeah, I mean just the caliber of injury that he had, bro. Like that's you're bold and courageous for doing that. For you're bold for just keep trying to play like that. Like I have nothing else to say really about that.
I understand. Well, so again, kudos to Alex Smith. Hopefully, we wish him the best and he can be on the field sooner rather than later. Do not wish the worst of Dwayne Haskins. Hopefully he can do something, but this guy Alex Smith, man.
Hopefully Alex Smith can be a nice little guiding hand on Dwayne Haskins, because from all I've heard, people are hyped on Dwayne Haskins.
Man,
he has a lot of errors, a lot of flaws, but I guess he's a raw, talented prospect.
You can't fake 50 touchdowns in college.
Yep.
Yeah.
In that type of conference.
Yep.
He had a good coach. Get him a good coach. Let's see what he can do. Don't throw him in the middle of the season with shitty targets other than McLaren. All right, so let's get into baseball. I haven't talked baseball in a while. So the Padres' success, that's something I really want to bring up, even though I am a Dodgers fan. I've been saying this for a while, that the Padres have a lot of good players. Eric Hosmer, first baseman, all-star, World Series champion for the Royals. You also have Manny Machado, came from the Dodgers, but overall all-star, MVP candidate.
Right.
Good guy, right? So Machado launched a no-doubt walk-off grand slam in the 10th inning as the Padres rallied from a 6-3 victory over the Rangers. So that was their third win in as many nights. And what's crazy and why I want to bring it up, that was their third grand slam.
Really?
Third grand slam in as many nights as well. So Tatis in that same game is coming out, who hit one of those grand slams in that last 3 games. It was in the third inning blast that put the Padres on top in the third inning. So with that blast, he extended his major league total to 12. Ooh. So he's a beast. He went 6 for 14 with 3 home runs this week. Hopefully that's a good-ass response to those motherfuckers talking about him swinging on a 3-0 pitch when they're up by 7. So that's a big-ass middle finger to you. But Machado was even talking, we gave up a lead, then we came back and we fought. It just makes it that much more special. So they've been able to do that. They have the firepower in their lineup, and they're in a pretty good division, especially in this type of season where the games mean more. The Rockies are on top, second with the Dodgers. Dodgers, of course, are on top, and then you have the Padres. So they're going up against good talent. When you think about it, these guys are gonna keep getting better too, and even this year, it's not about starting pitching. It's about the relief pitchers.
No.
We had a relief pitcher go, I think it was 1 and 2/3. So couldn't even get out of the second inning. And it wasn't even like, he let up 5 runs. He let up like 2 or something, 2 or 3. But now these games are so important. They need to win these games. You know what I mean?
Right,
so
it's
an early
like
hook.
It's like the middle of the season, isn't it?
It's getting close.
Yeah.
Very close. Very close.
Man, everything's starting to get tight.
Yeah, so they have a good enough bullpen. Hopefully they can get over to the next one there. But Machado, doing well. Fernando Tatis, doing well.
Doing well.
Eric Hosmer on the same team. And then I think you also have Chris Paddock's pretty good. So don't keep those Padres out of there. We'll see what happens with them, especially with this new guy, Fernando Tatis, even though he's been putting out for since last year. Our Pujols, shout out to him, reached another career milestone on Wednesday.
Big shout out.
So that was yesterday there. 7-2 loss to Giants. The reason I want to bring that up is because, fuck, man, these Angels. Could you do better? Like, god damn it. Like, you have some good pitching. Your guys' lineup is stacked. Like, get it together. Do something. I know the Dodgers fucking swept you guys, but shit, like, they just, I don't know, man. They have people, but they don't win, man. I thought Joe Madden was gonna be a big like flipper for that. You know what I mean? Like, we got the talent, let's do something with it. But it looks like they're going to have to trade some of their assets. So we'll talk about that soon. But back to Albert Pujols. He ties Alex Rodriguez for the second most RBIs in Major League history with 2,086. 2,000. Albert Pujols has been in the league for almost 20 years too, man.
Damn.
And it's crazy because, like, how many years ago do you think he was like, all right, fuck it, I got enough money, I'm just going for records?
I think that was like the main part about it. Like, I just
whole
want
Angel contract.
once his contract is over, like, I'm done with the game, and hopefully I play out the contract. That guy, man, he's crazy.
Yeah.
But he reached the mark with an RBI single with 2 outs in the 6th on an 0-2 fastball. I wanted to mention that because fuck, man, an 0-2. So he's still on 2 strike counts, getting hits at 40.
Driving in runs.
And at an elite level. So shout out to Albert Pujols. You're old. You've been doing it. You've been doing it for a long time. And I wish
you're old.
He's old, man. It sucks. It sucks watching him because he was so much just physically better. But he's also 1 homer away from tying Willie Mays for the 5th all time on the home run list. So this guy's a fucking insane dude. 3-time MVP, 10-time All-Star. He's the only member of the 650 homer club and 650 double club. Hits for power. Just you want somebody you want to have a great swing. Watch this guy.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And handles himself very well too. Exactly. One thing I want to bring up about this year is going to be weird. They got the trade deadline coming up.
Right.
Possibly the most valuable trade deadline ever.
Why
it could be. The reason why is because all of the games, of course, are worth more. But you're going to have this guy contribute to your team like down this stretch.
Right.
So you can go and get an MVP caliber guy. He has a hot second half. You can win a title.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it's about. You got to be hot going into the playoffs.
Right. No, I see the momentum definitely carries a lot. I mean, matters a lot.
You see wild cards winning the championship.
Yeah.
Just last year, I think.
Literally.
So
Nationals.
It happens. I'll let Aaron kind of take the reins on this one and see maybe if he wants to trade one of these. But let's just give him a breakdown. The Red Sox have gone off to a 6-18 start.
God damn.
Yep.
Wait. As of recording, they're 7-18.
7-18.
7-1 win against the Orioles.
Worse in the American League could look to sell off one of possibly their veteran players or maybe just one of their pitchers. But basically, the point is to get younger and add more depth. Trade candidates that were mentioned are first baseman Mitch Moreland, outfielders Jackie Bradley Jr. and Kevin Pillar. They also mentioned pitchers Nathan Eovaldi, Matt Barnes, Brandon Workman. Both of those last guys I think are in your. I think they're all in your bullpen actually.
Yep.
Nathan Eovaldi can.
Not Eovaldi.
He can pitch a starting. He can start, but
we've used him more as a starter recently.
Do both. So it's a weird season again. You'll see weird shit. Also, Martinez, just want to point this out, has the ability to opt out this offseason. So he can do that, especially on a losing team.
Fat ass contract.
You have the ability to lose him, so why not just trade him so that you can get some value right now? Yeah. But that's what I want to bring up to you. Who you think, like, out of those people, would you like to trade more or invest in? You know, how you feeling as a Red Sox fan?
Oh man!
And if things kind of continue the same, you might want to keep these relief pitchers for next year.
So man, ever since a little bit, kind of last year, there were a lot of reports and stuff on Reddit just talking about the financial problems of the Red Sox. dating back to the big contract they gave JD, and that just unexcusable contract they signed David Price to. That David Price contract is literally the reason why we had to trade Mookie Betts.
Oh,
and
wow.
that's a pivotal point for the fan base. You know
And
what
he's
I mean?
losing feeling.
No, yeah, for real. So it's like it's a very decisive time. Like, a lot of fans at the crossroads for Boston, especially with how we're starting this year.
All right.
I would want to trade JD to dudes on huge wages, and like, salute, man. You got us a ring and everything, but shit, you're just a luxury player at this point, and we don't need that at this point because we're not trying to get over the hump. We're trying to get back to the summit of it. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Basically, the way I'm looking at it, once they shipped out Mookie, I feel like everyone was they weren't looking to like re-up or anything.
Right.
It was more or less of a rebuild. So
Okay.
I'm going to assume that all of our aging assets, or just assets that are at the high, like JBJ, will probably get traded in exchange for future prospects or picks, and more importantly, probably just like not cash considerations, but cap space.
There's Bogarts in talks, and I was like, man, I don't even want to put Bogarts in talks. Would you put Bogarts in trade talks and try to get to that summit quicker in that type of fashion where you're going all in on this prospect thing, or are you trying to keep even Bogarts because, why not keep him?
I don't think they're going to strip it down to the bones like that. So, like, I don't think both Bogarts and JBJ will leave because those guys are kind of like fan heroes. You know what I mean? They've been around for the past handful of years. I would
doesn't
personally
say nothing about Mookie though.
Bro, Mookie, everything spoke for itself.
No, I understand why he got traded. You already
Yeah,
mentioned that,
I
but
totally,
that's
like, I understand
you know
it.
what I
It was
get?
not the right move. I don't accept it. I don't agree with
you
it.
mentioned
You know
that.
what I mean? But I understand it. But they decided what direction they were going to go with that, and that's the direction they decided to move in. But I don't think they move off both of JBJ and Xander, because that's just moving off like that. That would officially end this era. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Nah, I get you.
The only thing we would be holding on to is Chris Sale, and of course you hold on to Chris Sale, injured or not.
I don't think as a Red Sox fan you mind whatever the front office is going to do. They haven't done you wrong so far. Maybe the Mookie thing, it's a little bit done wrong because that was your best player. You mentioned that beforehand. Like, it's like us trading Cody Bellinger, and that wouldn't be okay with us. But no, yeah, like in the past, decade and a half, they've been producing world championships for you guys, so at least you guys know how that feels.
Well, they've been great for these past 3 years. So the decision to go all in to win that championship, it got us a championship, which is, at the end of the day, I would probably say it's worth it because it's really hard to get a championship. But bro, that honestly might have set back the Red Sox a couple of years when they maybe didn't need to do that. Mm-hmm. They maybe could have kept that team and then just tried to add maybe more depth and upgrade a position or two, but not drastically upgrade, because there's no excuse for that David Price contract.
I think one thing that contributed to you guys restarting is Alex Cora shit too.
Definitely.
So
definitely.
Things just didn't go right.
Even, dude, you can even go a little further than that, and them letting go of Theo Epstein.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? That dude was the mastermind of it all, and look, he went on to win the freaking ring for the
I think
Cubs.
There's mirror images of people now. I think all that technology where it comes to like numbers is updated so that a lot of people are able to use that type of information. But then you also have the eye too.
Yeah,
so
I think
I'm not discounting that.
That was a guy. That's what I'm saying. Like, especially if it was over, that would be the end of an era, because he kind of, like, even if he didn't handpick a lot of the players that are on the team now, he built kind of like the blueprint, like the mold of what our team is now.
For
so
sure.
Selling off those players officially closed this chapter. Hey, at least we have Verdugo, and that dude hit a dinger the other day.
Yeah, no, he's been doing well for you guys, so that's good for you guys. Mookie's been doing well for us, so I think we both got what we wanted out of it, so we'll see what's good.
David Price. That's what you guys really.
When he opted out, that kind of hurt, but it's all right.
That's what you guys really traded for, though. That was the gem of the package.
Fuck that guy. Okay, so another couple people that I want to do a shout out to for the trades is Trevor Bauer. Although since he is off to a weird start, not too good, not too bad, Trevor Bauer has been doing great. He's a starting pitcher. He's 3-0 right now with a .68 ERA, .57 WHIP, 14 Ks per 9. So this guy's having a pretty fucking great year, Cy Young Award winner type shit. I definitely think that the Dodgers can go out and get him. We're always looking for pitching, and he's been saying that he wants to be on the Dodgers. He also has those free Joe Kelly shoes or cleats. Watch out for that.
Dodgers
We'll see what
have the
happens.
Bucks, dude.
We got all the shit to trade for him. So
they got the pockets, yeah.
we'll see. 32-year-old Corey
Brewer.
This
Kyle
motherfucker.
You know he
Seager,
wanted to say it.
third baseman Kyle Seager hitting 307, 382 on base, 534 slugging. Has as many strikeouts as walks this year, which is 10 through 25 games. So this guy's definitely a good hitter, professional hitter at the plate. Somebody can trade for him as well. Maybe like, man, who would need a third baseman in this type of way that would update, like make their
Chances
go up. Maybe Twins. Maybe the Twins would like a third baseman and Kyle Seager. So Oakland? Damn. I can see Kyle Seager. He's got the look to be on that team with the white shoes. I don't mind it.
Dude, I remember when not Jock Peterson, dude.
Josh Donaldson?
Josh Johnson when he went to the A's, and that man was all coked out with the white cleats, the brand new white pants. I think he had like a
homegrown there, man.
Dude, he had the yellow or the gold shooting sleeve, and then the green jersey, crisp green jersey with the white batting gloves. I was like, just tight.
He's nice.
He's nice.
He's amazing.
He looks good. He looks good in that uniform.
I like it. Also, Bundy on the Angels. He's 27. He's a pitcher as well. 2.48 ERA, 0.8 WHIP. Talking about already how the Angels aren't doing too well. Maybe they can trade this guy and get some assets for next year because they do have some talent on that squad with a good coach.
Yep.
See what happens. But this is his first time he's outside of Baltimore. He's playing hopefully for a contender. Didn't really work out. Hopefully a contender can pick him up. Number 4 draft pick back in 2011. But I think that's it for today. We talked about all 3 sports here. Let's go ahead and do another couple quick hits. Ron Rivera.
Man, shout out Ron Rivera.
Cancer in his thyroid. Prayers going out to him. Blessings. They said they caught it really early. He's still going to coach. Treatment is on the way pretty soon. So hopefully technology and, health technology takes care of him nowadays.
Yeah.
You could beat this stuff.
Nothing but the best for Ron.
Vintage Kershaw, 7 innings, 11 strikeouts today. Dodgers win. Vintage Kershaw hopefully can continue to stay this type of dude.
You think
and
he can?
not have a back injury.
Yeah, hopefully that man back don't hurt. Fucking unloading some groceries or something.
I'm gonna light a candle.
Damn.
Oh, and then also Jared Stidham is throwing interceptions, I think.
Stidham.
All that talk from all these sports analysis.
It says Stidham's 7th interception in the past 72 hours. Patriots QB competition isn't a competition in the slightest.
It's because Cam Newton's dancing on the sideline. He's just distracting them. You're like, hey, man, right here.
That's good.
He's doing his moves. Yeah, so, all right. Yeah, that's another episode here, episode 9.
Yeah, sure. Episode 9, yeah.
Episode 9.
We just reached 100 downloads. Thank you guys so
105,
much.
Thank you
105 now.
I just looked.
You guys are continuing to show us love. Definitely appreciate all the support.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you
from
guys
each and
for
every
the
one of you.
support.
Please, I'm going to start posting a little bit more on the social media pages. Recommend certain topics, certain things that you want us to talk about. Yeah. We'll take any type of suggestions. We'll possibly run some little question like surveys on our story. Yeah. So keep an eye on those. But keep an eye on our social media.
One more quick hit. Shout out Andrew Uribe, man. We just been going back and forth a couple of days, and he gave me a couple of things to talk about for the Lakers today. So just shout out, bro. Love you, man. Just think about you.
There we go. He's thinking about. I've been thinking about you.
Not like that, bro.
Oh no.
All right. You see where his head's at.
All right. That's it.
That sounds good. Yeah.
Thanks for supporting the U.
Yep.
Sports U, uncensored. Uncensored sports.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Good night, everybody. Hope you enjoyed.